Hi guys, is this pure evil? So the Tories are planning to introduce tax cuts as part of their manifesto, and in order to avoid the disaster of Liz Truss, who tried to introduce something similar with her mini-budget, this time it will be costed. How exactly will Rishi Sunak pay for them? Well, by cutting working benefits. Yes, some of the poorest people in society are expected to struggle even more in order to help Rishi Sunak and the Tories hold on to a few extra seats. Laura Trott from the Treasury confirmed it in a pretty matter-of-fact sort of way. Have a listen.
You seem to be getting basically all the heavy lifting for the tax cuts comes from welfare cuts. But that 12 billion isn't really explained.
Well, the Prime Minister made a speech on welfare, you'll remember, before the election campaign, setting out our clear plans to do that. That will raise, we think, £12 billion.
So it's not a real number. It's a bit
it
sort of
is
Liz
a real
Truss,
number.
maybe.
No, it's absolutely not. It is a real number, but the point about it is that this is trying to get welfare not even back to where we were pre-pandemic.
The £12 billion saving isn't even taking us back to pre-COVID DWP benefit payments.
Yeah, so, I'm asking to see your homework. I'm asking to see your workings, and you haven't produced them yet.
Well,
all you've done is put an aspiration. If you put that past the OBR, they'd laugh at you.
Well, I think the OBR would take our costing seriously. I think they'd look at what we're planning to do to personal independence payments.
Oh my goodness. Like, once again, and actually I was wrong, it's not costed. It's written on the back of a napkin, it seems, or extracted from someone's behind. This figure of £12 billion in cuts to welfare benefits, to working benefits, to fund tax cuts. See, the tax cuts, they believe, is a way to help them hold on to a few extra seats. And where can they come from? Well, by punishing the poorest in society, people who are working and relying on benefits, because the hours they receive are not sufficient to help them survive, to pay their bills, to survive the cost of living crisis, to pay the rent or whatever. Or that the wages they receive are insufficient to deal with the cost of living crisis, so people are relying on benefits. This is a cruel policy. Look, it's not about the costing of it, it's about the cruelty. The Conservatives realise, look, if we want to hold on to seats, we need to punish someone. And it has to be somebody that has less than, the average voter. So somebody who's in a desperate situation, be them asylum seekers, be them people on benefits. And benefits is an easy go-to for the Conservatives. They've used it before. They convinced the general public that anyone who's on benefits is gaming the system or swinging the lead or in some way a dishonest individual. When in reality, it's a social safety net. It's designed to protect people from poverty. Now, does it protect people from poverty? Of course not, because they have underfunded it for the last 14 years. The Tories ideologically are against the idea of benefits and any sort of social security, any sort of welfare. They want to funnel money to the richest in society, not give any sort of money to the poorest in society. They're completely against that. Now, they can't completely decimate it, because then they would be kicked out straight away. So instead, what they're doing is, look, we want to introduce tax cuts. How are we going to pay for it? Well, what we're going to do is take it from the poorest in society. People who are working and on benefits. Let's reduce those benefits. Force them into doing more work. Now, are they going to deliver on this? Of course not. This is just a gimmick. Because also they won't be able to do it because they won't be in power. But what they're doing is, once again, trying to create a wedge in society, trying to convince middle-class people in general that everyone below them is deserving of more pain. And you have a right-wing media that goes along with that too. This is pure evil. This is about convincing the voter, the average voter, that somebody who has less than you is a problem. And they need to be punished, they need to be kicked, they need to be convinced that they are the problem, and in order to improve the economy, improve society, they need to have less. It's a disgraceful policy. It's Tory ideology. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.